The 45-yard line of Lebanon. There are 4 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in this ball game. The Blue Devils have only a 19-16 lead over Beach as they are driving. This series began at their own 17-yard line. Split backs behind Harris. He will turn, and the fullback is driven into the ground. That's Walker, as the middle interior of the defensive line puts him down for a loss of 2.
Bowles checks out of the football game for Lebanon, and coming in at the nose for Lebanon, Damian C., the senior, trying to get a little quickness and probably send Damian one way or the other on the stunt.
2nd down and 12, and now a timeout will be called by Beach. 3:37 remaining in the ball game. We'll take a timeout as well and be back in just a moment.
What's the word? Back at Lebanon High School. Down to John Bryan on the field. John, the update from Dr. Kalen on Jade Sellers.
Said that his knee checked out as normal, no fracture, going to have some slight ligament damage, possibly the ACL. They're going to look at him more thoroughly tomorrow.
2nd down and 12, for the Buccaneers at the 47-yard line of Lebanon. As this game ticks down, Corlew in motion, play fake. Harris has people. The screen pass to the fullback. Lehue tries to trip him up, and Pitt will keep him short of the first down at the 35 by just a few feet, Tommy.
Well, they're in a 4-down situation. Beach behind in the game as we're looking at 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the game. They just wanted to get close to make this play somewhere in the neighborhood, and Beach will take 2 pops at it if they need it.
3rd down and short, 3 minutes remaining. Harris will take it himself as he will fight his way down to the 28-yard line for a first down as the clock stopped at 3:02. As a touchdown here and the extra point would make Lebanon trail by 4. Clock started. It is now under 3 minutes. It's 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers. Harris with his team to the line, a 5-man Blue Devil front. Sadler in motion, play fake. Harris has some company. He cuts it up, has room to run, is hit and goes down at the 28-yard line as he will pick up 5 on the play on Tommy, what could have been a sack for the Blue Devils.
Well, we were chasing him from the backside, but they had caved down our left defensive side. The end of the tackle just knocked down, and Harris able to cut it up inside all that pressure and make a good play out of what very well could have been a sack.
2nd down and a long 5, 2:15 remaining in the game. Harris, his team to the line, straight drop, wants to throw, has a man. Shaw never looks back as he was running a fly pattern. He had beaten his coverage of Lehue and Phillips, but Tommy, he didn't look back for the ball.
Some kind of miscommunication between the quarterback and Shaw, the receiver. The quarterback, Harris, threw the out. Shaw ran the up, running toward the end zone, and he had gotten behind everybody, but the quarterback thinking that he's going to break that out. A timing play, and incomplete.
3rd down and 5, 2:10 remain in the ball game. Shaw and Mulligan to the left. And the Blue Devils look to be blitzing. Harris wants to throw, pops it complete to Sadler for the first down. C catches him just inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers from the 19-yard line of Lebanon with 2:04 remaining in this ball game.
Lebanon trying to get some pressure on the quarterback. Bowles comes back in. Kenneth Nelson comes out. Phillips goes in. Out comes Todd Tressler.
1st and 10 for the Buccaneers. A single back behind Harris. Straight drop. He wants to throw. Quick pop. It is over Shaw's head. Hit with good coverage. Morris coming in backup, and it'll be 2nd and 10 for Beach.
Terry, what about Harris throwing the football tonight?
Tommy, he's now 7 of 11 for 152 yards. All 152 of those have come in the second half.
2nd down, 10 yards to go for Beach. Shaw will go to the left side. Sadler and Corlew are the wingbacks. Corlew in motion. Harris play fake, rolling, wants to throw, unloads it. It is complete to Sadler. Turns away into the end zone for a touchdown.
3 Lebanon defenders hit him. Phillips, Morris, and Ron C. And Sadler shook them off. And he goes into the end zone for the touchdown. Lebanon out checking on Jason Morris. Morris comes off the field, and now the PAT by the freshman kicker, Kaufman.
Harris, the holder, snap down. The kick is up. It is high enough, and it is good. 1:36 remain. It is Beach 23, Lebanon 19. We'll be back in just a moment.
Beach going 84 yards in 15 plays as Kenta Sadler from Michael Harris, a 19-yard touchdown pass. Kaufman with the extra point with only a minute 36 left in the game. It's now Beach 23, Lebanon 19.
Kaufman to kick the ball off, and Tommy standing at the 30. They've swapped Carson and Griffin, as that's where the ball's been going. It's going there again, and Griffin will let it be caught by Carson. He could have let it go out of bounds. 20, 25, and out to the 28-yard line as the swap by Lebanon almost works.
They kick the ground ball once again, and Lebanon now a minute 29, win or lose on this possession. Lebanon has got a long way to go, and the clock now starts after the kick.
Stafford is out of the ball game. A minute 20 remain. Griffin is the tailback. Cherry and Carson to the right. It is Jeff Clemens to the left. 1:15. Reeder looks over the D. Straight drop. Gives to Griffin. Up to the 30 and the 31-yard line. Only 3 yards on the draw. And timeout called by Lebanon with 1:05 remaining in the ball game. We'll take a break and be back with more action.
Lebanon with a gain of 3 on first down on the draw play. Time is the enemy as a minute 5 to go in this game. Lebanon trails. We've got 1 timeout left and about 69 yards to go for a touchdown.
2nd and 7. Reeder with a 3-man line in front of him. Straight drop, fakes the draw, has pressure, steps up, looks, unloads for Clemens. It is go in and out of his hands. As Harris jumped up to intercept it, he missed. Clemens was distracted, and Tommy, he could have walked into the end zone had he caught it, but a flag is down, and it's against Beach.
Well, maybe there's still some life left in this football team tonight, Sam. Personal foul looks like is going to be the call. Reeder rolling out of the pocket, hitched and threw long. And the penalty, roughing the passer, is the call against the Buccaneers. So the late hit bails Lebanon out. So a first down for the Blue Devils.
At their own 44-yard line, 57 seconds remaining. Clemens, that is Jeff to the right. Carson is a tight end on the left. Reeder rolls, plants, throws. It is complete to Grissom. Up and out of bounds at the 47-yard line of Beach. That only took 6 seconds and picks up right at 9 yards. A good play, Tommy.
A good play, and Bo did a good job getting out of bounds as we now have time to set the play in the huddle. The clock won't start until the football is snapped. We ran the little flood route, little play action pass, hit Bo Grissom in the flat for the good yardage. Now Lebanon looking at a second down.
Second and only 1, 51 seconds. They are 47 yards away from the winning touchdown. 2 receivers to the left for Reeder. 3-man line, straight drop, play action. He plants, wants to go deep again. He has got Carson, incomplete, as it is Wells in coverage, and Tommy, he drew a crowd.
Deep down the middle against the zone coverage, and all the defenders right there converging in the middle of the football field. That stops the clock on the incompletion. Third down. And Beach is going to take a timeout. The Buccaneers want to talk over this defensive stand as they've had their secondaries let a couple of people get open. 44 seconds to go. Hang on to your seats, folks. We'll be back after this timeout. 44 seconds to go in the game. The Blue Devils trail Beach by a score of 23-19. It has come down to this last couple of possessions.
It is 3rd and a yard. Look for the Blue Devils to try to pick up the first down. Stafford, the tailback. Grissom will go in motion. 3-man line. Reeder throws. He throws back. Griffin can throw. He will pick up the first down and be spun out of bounds. A good job. 37 seconds remaining. He will only pick up a couple of yards, Tommy, but that is enough for the first down and stops the clock.
That's the first time we've run the hitch this year. We have Griffin out there as the receiver. He takes 2 steps up, a couple of steps back. That's a lateral, and don't be surprised if there's some trickery here off of that same play look later in this. Well, we don't have much later in this game. 37 seconds to go.
Griffin goes out of the ball game. Nope, he's a wide receiver on the right side. 37 seconds. Reeder drops, play action, wants to throw, looks down the left side. Clint Carson turned around. It is incomplete. He was wide open. 31 seconds remain.
Lebanon has receivers open. We've got people. We've just got to hit them. And it looked like Clemens running down this near sideline wide open, John. It's just going to be a matter of us finding the right receiver and getting him out of bounds.
That's right, Tommy. And, we've had a couple of passes that's been dropped here late. So, boy, what a game.
2nd and 10. 31 seconds remain. Reeder, straight drop, waits, looks, runs, gets a couple of yards as Lebanon will have to call timeout. 20 seconds, and nobody's called it yet. 19 now. With 19 seconds remaining, Lebanon calls time. It will be 3rd down and 8 for the Blue Devils.
We'll keep it right here for this crucial series of plays. And Lebanon does have a play where they'll what they call the hitch fade. They'll throw the hitch. They won't throw it to Griffin. They'll throw it to somebody, say like a Brooks Cherry, who will then catch it, take a couple of steps back, and try to hit a receiver deep. They've run that play in practice. They ran that on Thursday. That play is in the arsenal, and I see Brooks Cherry in the football game. If you see him flanked out wide, don't be surprised to see that hitch and then the double pass, kind of what they used to call the Florida special.
19 seconds remaining in the ball game. High formation behind Reeder. Griffin is the tailback. Reeder looks it over. Cherry is on the left side. Reeder, straight drop, plants, wants to throw backwards now, can't, throws forward to Cherry, 40, 35, 30, and out of bounds with 11 seconds at the 31-yard line for the first down.
Boy, that was big as they brought Brooks Cherry back across the formation, and Brooks just doing a good job of going to the open spot on the football field. The clock is now stopped. We've probably got time for 2 pass plays, and the second one has got to go to the end zone.
1st and 10 for the Blue Devils. The 31-yard line of Beach, as Tommy told you. 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Here it comes, Sam.
Cherry is flanked. Griffin in motion. Watch for that play. Brooks drops, plants, has some time, unloads it. It is Carson. It is incomplete with 3 seconds remaining. If he could have caught it, Tommy, he was in the end zone.
Man, my heart stopped beating as we ran the hitch fade to Brooks Cherry. He hung it up for Carson at the goal line, and Beach very nearly came away with the interception. 3 seconds to go in the game. Lebanon has got to throw it in the end zone. Look for Beach to put 4 people back at the goal line.
3 seconds from, sorry, Tommy.
And 1 play, 1 game of toss and catch for 3rd place in Region 4-5A.
Colorado did it against Michigan. We can hope for it here. 3 seconds remaining. Only Grissom behind Reeder. 4 wide receivers. Reeder looks it over. The final play. He'll snap it, straight drop, has time, rolls up, plants, unloads toward the end zone to Cherry. It is incomplete, and Beach has won this ball game 23.
The postgame show with head coach Bob Dillard and your field reporter, John Bryant.
Welcome to the post-game show. I'm your host, John Bryan, talking with head coach Bob Dillard. The post-game show is brought to us, as they have been all year, Chum's Convenience Stores, Greg Brothers Car Wash, College Street Church of Christ Youth Ministry, Tim Bennett Insurance, and Steve Jones, Century 21 Macon Realty. Coach, an emotional game.
Yeah, it was, John.
Come out and playing hard, and Jade went down with a knee injury, and the team held together, and tell you what, just a few more minutes on the clock and we probably would have pulled it out.
Well, you know, Jade went down early, and that definitely hurt us a lot on defense, because he does such a good job for us defensively, and of course it hurt us offensively too. So, but that's the way things go sometimes.
Coach, we don't know yet what part of Chattanooga we're going to next week for the first round of the TSSAA playoffs, but we do know we'll be headed up to East Tennessee.
Yeah, we're going to either Chattanooga Red Bank or Soddy Daisy, and we don't know who won that ball game yet, but that's where we'll be going.
Coach, I'll let you get back to the players in the locker room. Do we have any more injuries besides Jade?
Not that I know of. Chris Stafford's ankle is still kind of tender, but other than that, I think we're okay.
Coach, good luck in this week's practice as we go into the TSSAA first round of the state high school playoffs.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. That's been the post-game show interview with head coach of the Lebanon Blue Devils, Bob Dillard. The post-game show has been brought to us all year by these fine sponsors. And if you would, folks, please thank these people for doing a good job in sponsoring the pregame, post-game show and this whole television replay on the Saturday morning Lebanon Cable 3. Chum's Convenience Stores, Greg Brothers Car Wash. They have 2 locations. College Street Church of Christ, Johnny Markham and the youth ministry up there. Tim Bennett Insurance and Steve Jones at Century 21 Macon Realty have been our fine sponsors for the post-game show all year. Terry Stafford, Tommy Bryan, Big Sam, back up to you.
Thank you, John. Terry Stafford here with the final stats as Beach has defeated Lebanon tonight 23-19. Recapping the scoring, Beach got on the board first, 5:57 left in the first quarter as Michael Harris ran it in from the 2-yard line as Beach went 70 yards in 13 plays. The extra point was no good, and at the end of the first quarter, Beach led Lebanon 6-0. Lebanon got on the board in the second quarter, 7:30 left in the second quarter. Bo Grissom, a 1-yard touchdown run. Lebanon going 47 yards in 9 plays. The extra point was no good. At that point, there was a 6-6 tie. Beach scoring with only 48 seconds left in the half. Gerard Kaufman, a 42-yard field goal. And at halftime, Beach led Lebanon 9-6. In the third quarter, Lebanon gets on the board, 8:24 left in the third quarter. Jason Reeder, a 31-yard touchdown run. Lebanon going 85 yards in 6 plays. J.L. Presley added the extra point, and at that point, Lebanon had taken the lead 13-9. Lebanon scoring again in the third quarter. Joel Griffin going 79 yards as Lebanon goes 79 yards in only 1 play. The extra point was no good, and at the end of the third quarter, Lebanon led 19-9. The fourth quarter was all Beach. Beach scoring with 8:34 left in the fourth quarter. Eugene Shaw from Michael Harris, an 80-yard touchdown pass. Kaufman added the extra point, and at that point it was 19-16, Lebanon still leading. But Beach scores with 1:36 left in the game. Kenta Sadler, again from Michael Harris, this time a 19-yard touchdown pass. As Beach goes 84 yards in 15 plays. Kaufman added the extra point, and that's how we get our final. Beach defeating Lebanon tonight, 23-19. Taking a look at the final stats. On the ground, rushing, Beach 189 yards rushing, Lebanon 268. Passing tonight, Lebanon with only 20 yards passing, 2 of 9, no touchdowns, 1 interception. For Beach passing, 171 yards on 8 of 13, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Total yardage in the game, Beach outgains Lebanon as Beach has 360 total yards, Lebanon with 288. First downs, Lebanon with 10 first downs, Beach with 19 turnovers. Lebanon turned the ball over one time. Beach turned it over twice. In penalties, Lebanon with 40 yards on 3 penalties. Beach 33 yards on 3 penalties. Individually for Hendersonville Beach, their leading rusher tonight was David Corlow, 79 yards on 17 carries. Passing tonight, Michael Harris, 171 yards on 8 of 12, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. For Lebanon individually tonight, Jason Reeder, 30 yards on 4 carries and a touchdown. Bo Grissom had a good night, 12 carries, 93 yards. Jade Sellers, 5 carries for 28. Chris Stafford, 9 for 31. And Joel Griffin, 5 for 86 and a touchdown. Passing again tonight, Reeder, 2 of 8. No touchdowns, 1 interception, 20 yards, as again, Beach outgains Lebanon 360 yards to 288. Tommy, a disappointing loss tonight, but next week starts a new season. The playoffs start new. It's a brand new ball game next week.
Well, I leave it to Terry Stafford to put a good spin on things, and you're absolutely right. It's a new season. Everybody starts out 0-0 once you make that playoff field. One of 4 teams from this region to advance to the TSSAA playoffs, and who would have thought that because the playoffs expanded to that 4th team this year, that's why we're able to get in there, Terry. As the 4th team, Beach becomes the number 3 team. Riverdale, of course, clinched the championship. Gallatin number 2. So Lebanon next week will travel to Chattanooga. We'll be traveling southeast at the time of this broadcast. We don't know exactly where we're going to be, but we know we will be in Chattanooga. Next week, we'd love to take a big crowd with us to Chattanooga to watch this football team play in the playoffs for the 8th consecutive year. If you can't go, you can tune in on the cable TV tape delay next week, 9 o'clock on Lebanon Cable Vision 3. Folks, it was a heck of a football game, but Lebanon comes out on the short end of a 23-19 score. For John Bryan on the field, for Terry Stafford with the stats, Sam Axley, the play-by-play, Jeff Vaught and Dwight Phillips on TV production, I'm Tommy Bryan, wishing everyone